If you're planning your next trip or adventure and you want to get awesome shots, we think that the best camera is the one that you have on you. And a lot of times for us, that's our iPhones, and we're amazed by the kinds of shots we can get with our iPhones.
Now when we're taking photos, whether it's our fancy camera or our iPhone, we have 4 core things that we often think about when we're taking those photos. So we thought we'd share those with you so that you can take your adventure photos and go from mediocre to masterful.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Our tip number 1 is timing. If you can plan your trip and the beautiful parts of it around sunrise or sunset, I promise you the photos are going to turn out better than showing up midday with harsh lighting and the sun high in the sky, unless you get lucky with fog or clouds. But we really think it's worth it to change your plans, maybe wake up early and shift your dinner plans around sunrise and sunset so you can get that golden hour, the hour before sunset or the hour after sunrise. It's so worth it, and a lot of people miss this and show up to those places thinking they're getting great stuff when it could be even better if they planned things around sunrise and sunset.
Our tip number 2 is to think about framing and composition. And when I say framing and composition, this means thinking differently from going up to your scene and just sort of taking the picture from your eye's perspective, and being way more intentional with what you actually put inside your frame. This is about changing your perspective and maybe getting low and shooting up from the ground, or getting up on the hood of your car and looking down from a scene to try and get it from a different perspective that way. Or if you see a puddle on the ground, maybe you can get a reflection in the water, and that kind of creates a cool sense of symmetry in the scene. So using those different techniques, you can think about your composition differently. And one other tool that's really helpful in framing and composition is something that's called the rule of thirds. And in your iPhone, you have a handy way of actually seeing the rule of thirds in your phone's viewfinder by going to settings and then going to the camera section of your settings and then turning on the grid toggle. You'll then be able to see the rule of thirds as you're taking the photo. So then you can place your horizon maybe in that top third or in the lower third, and you can be a lot more intentional with how you're taking your photograph and thinking about framing and composition.
Tip number 3 is subject placement. Be as intentional and thoughtful as possible about where you're placing your subject and what's behind them. So when you take your friend or your partner to this beautiful epic landscape and you're getting a shot of them, is there a horizon line coming straight from behind their head? Because if so, that kind of looks like it's cutting off their head. So maybe put them up in the sky so you have to get lower as a photographer, or put them down below the horizon so you have to get higher as a photographer. And then think about where you're cutting them off, where on their body. So if you cut their elbows or their knees off, that doesn't look as good. Try to go all the way back and get a really nice full body shot where you can see all body parts, including the toes. Don't cut off those toes. We see that very often. And then also think about the grid that Jamie shared. Can you place your subject in one of those lines? Or if you want to put them in the middle, it makes for a really cool symmetrical shot. And then another little bonus tip is you don't have to just get those smiling at the camera shots. You can get those cool, epic, like looking off in the distance shots too.
Our 4th and final tip for you is to actually go in and edit your photo. You put all this hard work into thinking about your photo, into waking up at sunrise, skipping dinner for that sunset. And we want you to go in and actually enhance the image in an app. So find something like what we use, which is Visco, and go in and change the contrast. Go in and change the color temperature. Try applying some of those filters that everybody's using and see what you like. Our personal style is to go in and add contrast because the iPhone tends to shoot a little flat. And then we also like to warm the image up a little bit. But that's our style, so see what you like. Add some contrast, add some warmth, add some grain, apply a filter, and get that image enhanced so you can feel like you've done all the work for an awesome image.
There you have it, 4 simple steps to take your photos from okay to epic.
We hope you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We really appreciate the support. And if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them, whether it's wedding related, photo related. We want to go ahead and make more videos for you guys. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.